Attention! And welcome to the Husker Army Podcast. With your hosts, Husker fanatic Brian Knudsen, former Husker wide receiver Kenny Cheatham, and Husker recruiting guru Matt Sass.
You know, I think right now, I think when you win and you lose, it's really important to talk about the moment that you're in. I think for me, it's important to remind them, that how much I respect them and care about them, and how I know some guys are really hurting, and some guys I'm sure feel like, man, I let the guys down, or if I hadn't done this. But it's the man in the arena, the guy that has the guts to go out there, that puts himself out there. So I just encourage them to make sure they understand that at the University of Nebraska, I expect us to finish the game on offense, but also expect us to finish the game on defense. And this shouldn't be anything but a team.
What's going on, everybody? Fall in at attention. You're locked into another episode of the Husker Army Podcast, brought to you by the Husker Army Facebook fan page. Go check those guys out. And look, it isn't just me today. I had to go and record a little intro because we had an issue with recording, and it didn't record about our first 10 minutes. So with our guest, Chancellor Brewington today, it'll jump into about 10 minutes into the episode, so I apologize for that. Wanted to give you the quick clip of Coach Rule's presser and show you guys the enlisted graphic here for Chancellor Brewington now being part of the Husker Army Podcast. So there you go, guys. Enjoy the episode. Chancellor was awesome to have on, and I hope you guys really enjoy the knowledge he drops on you guys today. Take care.
And I think I know Chubba. I've grown up with him. Our dads played baseball together, so I know Chubba personally, and I know the type of football player he is. And I just think it kind of showed on Saturday the way he can use his legs. I think he's probably a more elusive runner than out of the three. Has a little bit more wiggle to him. I would say he throws the best ball. He threw the best ball yesterday. The little out route to Billy Kemp. But I really do think Chubba should be given the job next week. If I was the head coach, that's what I would do. Just because, I look at the stat line. I think we were 2 of 9 on third down. And I think that there's a lot of context to go with that, because, third down, you get in a lot of obvious pass situations, a lot of third and medium, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12. You take a sack on second down or a minus, it's 3rd and 11, right? And it turns into this pass down. And with this offense, it's kind of tough sometimes. No shade on anyone, but it's just tough sometimes when first and second down are obvious runs, and say those aren't on schedule, meaning first down, you don't get 2 to 3 yards, and second down, you don't get 2 to 3 yards, making it an easy 3rd and 3 where it could be a run or pass down. You make it into a 3rd and long when you don't hit on first and second, and you turn to this pass game and you put the pressure on your quarterback and your O-line when they haven't been during the drive. They haven't been called to do those things. So I just think throwing Chubb in there, it might even out the offense a little bit more, bring a little bit more balance to the offense, knowing that he could spin out a hitch to the field and complete it easily. So I think he just adds a little bit more of an element that can also get more playmakers involved.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been any way short in my feelings on anybody behind Harburg once he got the start. And I mean, I still don't know. It seems like it doesn't matter who we've thrown back there. It's just going to be horrible for him. And I'm not going to blame the offensive line. I'm not going to blame the coaches. I guess the real only thing I would blame it on is just preparation. It just makes me wonder if they're not prepping correctly. Look, Sims and Purdy, I thought they were going to prove me wrong. They came in and provided sparks that looked great. Sims was looking awesome until the turnovers. Purdy was looking great until what I think was just a bad play call in that situation. But Kenny, I mean, did you see something out of the guys that provided a spark out of the both of them? It's all right because this recording, I'm gonna have to do something with the editing afterward because it's been glitchy, so I don't think it even caught the opening clip. So, hi everybody, Brian Knudsen, Kenny Cheatham, and our guest Chancellor Brewington, just in case it didn't catch that. So yeah, we got you guys going there, and we're gonna get.
I'm
Kenny
trying to
here
log in
on
another
a
way.
There we
So
go. We'll get him on
let
a
me log
different.
off this one. This is much better. Sorry about that. The computer, I don't know what it's doing.
It happens, Chancellor, so we apologize,
So,
man. It's not the first time.
Trust me, I know.
Let me mute this one.
Kenny, what is that?
Is that better?
Hey, that's
Yeah.
way better.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on with the internet today. So,
Good.
God, I think it's StreamYard acting up. You guys hear me?
Oh yeah, we got you. We got you.
God, this is crazy. I can't hear anything.
It's all right, dude.
Okay, all right. That's a little better. I don't know what's going on, but what was the question again, Brian? Because it was so glitchy.
Just the play out of the three quarterbacks.
Man, they all had their moments. Chancellor was right there. I mean, Jeff was playing well into the turnovers. With moving the ball, handing the ball off. I still think some of his play action and fake mesh on the options were a little off to me, but he played well into the turnover. I thought we moved the ball a little better. Thing Heinrich, I don't know. I don't know if his confidence is there. I don't know what's going on mentally. None of us can really say, but it's just something's not there right now. And sometimes you look at the interceptions and you're like, how and why? Purdy came in and did well. Unfortunately, he had the interception in the end zone. But it can be a confidence thing with all of them. You all know sports. If your confidence isn't there when you're playing, it can have a huge factor. You can be as athletically gifted as you want to be. But if your confidence isn't there, or you're worried about making a mistake, or you're just not there for some reason, it's going to affect your play. So, I mean, they all had their moments, they all had their turnovers, and unfortunately, we lost the game. But they're going to have to look and see who does the best this weekend. I mean, this week. Is it a short week, if I'm correct, or not?
No.
Okay. Well, they're going to have to see and do some soul searching and really come down and say, whoever makes the grade them extremely hard in practice this week. Sometimes it takes that. It's just what it is, you know?
Yeah, and speaking of Sims, I mean, I already showed Harbur's interception. I mean, here's Sims' first one. I don't know. Look, it's off his back. I get it. I know where he's going, but double coverage, guys.
But Sims, when he threw those early in the year, it was off his back foot.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. So that you're throwing off your back foot. Do you have the arm strength to get the ball that deep and be accurate doing something like that? That's an Aaron Rodgers type move, but he has the arm strength. You know what I mean? So
I mean, here you go, Chancellor. Here's the second one. This is abysmal. That's scary.
What do you think about those, Chancellor?
I would just say probably for the first ones, it's just like you gotta. I think it's a coaching thing, to be honest. Just having guys dialed in, and then obviously for this one, just trust your blockers. Don't try to do too much. But I think just with the interception thing, I think it's just a confidence thing. I think a lot of times we see quarterbacks get in a groove, and that's how they sustain the rhythm throughout the game. And I think a lot of times when first down you hit for a big run, and now you're first, second down, you run the ball, then all of a sudden it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, you got to make a big boy read to the field or to the boundary or half field side, whatever. And now it kind of you got a high-low corner, and you haven't done this all game. I just know from being an athlete, it's all about rhythm, especially at quarterback, making reads and things like that. So I just think it's it's a sprinkle of this, it's a sprinkle of that. At the end of the day, you got to execute your job, and those guys know that. Those guys know that, and I know they don't want to be out there. They don't want to be out there throwing picks and doing whatever and fumbling the ball and turning the ball over. But at the end of the day, somebody got to get in there and do their job and execute. Because obviously, when you're the quarterback, you got to execute at a 85, 80%. I mean, 85, 90% rate to win a football game in the Big Ten. So, against a good team at least. So, name the game is execution.
Hey, Kenny, how is the mic on your computer?
It was fine. I mean, I hear you guys fine now that I'm on my phone. When I had the computer up, it was glitchy the entire time.
I noticed when I'm talking and Chancellor's talking, we're getting some pretty good reverb on my end.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Are you hearing the echo at all, Chancellor?
Yeah, he's got some headphones.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys need me to put on some headphones?
Yeah, we don't hear the echo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see what I can do.
Let
me see what I can do.
No problem, dude. Hey, let's go. Perfect. All right, now we're back. We had to mute Kenny's mic for the moment. He's logging back on. We'll get it rolling. Chancellor, we're still talking about it. Let's talk about the bright spot, though, as far as the offensive weapons go. And, that would have to be Mr. Emmett Johnson. He's really coming on as what I would think is running back number one in that room. He looks quick. He looks decisive. He's got some power behind him. He's not quite as big as Anthony Grant, but tell you what, not a bad day. 17 carries, 84 yards, averaging almost 5 yards a carry. I think we're seeing a star start to emerge here out of Emmett Johnson. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Emmett's a talented dude. I remember him when he first came in the summer. Was it last year? We were in the same lifting group, and he was on my hip, and I could just, you can just smell the hunger on some guys, man, and he has that, and just the way he carries himself is very professional. It's also very, he loves the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of guys you want to go to battle with. Those are the type of guys. As a coach, you probably want to coach that type of dude. You want him to win. So anyone who knows him, is happy for him, and I'm happy for him. But from the X's and O's side of things, like he does a lot of things well. He's a high effort guy. He's gonna pick up blitzes. He's gonna give you everything you can in the pass game. He actually is I think he's probably the more talented receiving back out the backfield. So I'm surprised we haven't seen him, get, maybe a couple wheel routes, couple option routes out the, backfield, stuff like that. I think once the offense can open up and get a little bit more freedom where they can trust guys to make reads and stuff like that, I think eventually down the line you'll see that with him. But just you saw it 4.9 yards a carry, like that's 5 yards a pop right there. Yeah. So anytime you see that, that's on first down. I can give you the ball and expect at least 4 yards from you on first down, and then that makes a 2nd and 6. Okay, I can expect at least 4 yards from you on 2nd down. Makes a 3rd and 2. And we can maybe hand the ball off on 3rd and 2 and get it too. So obviously there's a fine line between running the ball too much and limiting your offense, but I think he's doing a fantastic job. The long run he broke, I just showed is able to burst, excel, cut back, all that amazing stuff. And yeah, like you say, he runs behind his pads, so he does have some power to him. And I think he's gonna surprise some people in these next 2 weeks, and then obviously bowl game and stuff like that. But that's the thing, though. I was talking to my dog. I'm like, this how you build momentum going into the off season, have these good games at the end of the year. Then all of a sudden you take that into your off season training, and then your confidence level just goes higher and higher. Like he said, as an athlete, you are with your confidence, what you think about yourself, your belief in yourself. So yeah, I kudos to him, and he's doing great things.
All right, Kenny, I'm going to unmute you here real quick. I want to get your thoughts on what you consider to be, he better have something to him having an old-ass name like Emmett. So I wanted to get your thoughts on Emmett Johnson.
Yeah, does this sound better, fellas?
It sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I got no reverb now. Perfect. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I said they must have had that dude in the time capsule to name him Emmett. I mean, who named someone Emmett in recent times? I mean, God damn. But anywho, I like the way the young cat runs, man. I mean, he doesn't play around. He's no nonsense. He hits the hole, and he's about his business. So as someone watching, that's what you want to see from your running backs. I mean, I like them all. They all have their ups and downs. I mean, I like Grant. He's just been the fumbles. But I like him as a power back. I like the way the young fella runs. He hits it. He moves. He goes. And I'm impressed. So, I mean, if we can really get that running game established, and it will really take a lot of pressure off our quarterbacks, especially with the confidence levels they're having within themselves right now. I mean, like I said, you saw Double H's face when he made the turnovers. You saw Jeff Sims over there when he made the turnovers. He was over there, I think, by himself squatting down one time. Just
crouched next to the injury tent.
Yeah, just processing. And Purdy knows he's had a short leash since he's been there as well. So, I mean, but Emmett Johnson runs the ball, man. And I like seeing it from a fan perspective. Like, I always say I'm a former player, but I'm a fan now. But he hits it, he goes, and I can't complain about him. And he's been our most effective runner since he's been there, outside of Double H when he had his long runs. So,
yeah. Now, I mean, there really wasn't many stats to pull up as far as wide receivers go, but Chancellor, I wanted to ask you on this one because, like I said, it's still so fresh in your mind. You're still so closely removed from college football that you see more than what most of us average fans see. And even Kenny, I'm sure you might be able to attest to this, as far removed from the game as you are. There's some things that I'm sure have changed a lot since you have played. Chancellor, what are you seeing out of our young receiver core right now? Obviously, the room's banged up, so young guys have needed to step up and try and make an impact. Coleman's done that already. We've seen Doss, Lloyd. Where do you see the wide receiver stable going from here?
Well, I feel like there's a few ways you could look at it, and I think the way I choose to look at it is we're talking about the way college football is today. So the way college football is today, you might, if you're a receiver in Michigan's offense, Penn State's offense, Ohio State's offense, Maryland's offense, you might run just pure concepts. You might run 20 concepts in one game. Just pure concepts. Talking about a flood concept, a snag concept, a slant and arrow, a hitch, a stick, a post corner, just 4 verts, 2x2 verts, all these different things, right? So in a game, you're getting all these reps, and you're able to break them down each week, and you're evolving, right? But in this offense, it's just tough to evolve as a receiver and to develop, because how many you could count on your fingers how many routes Malachi ran on Saturday.
Yeah,
real routes. I think he ran a dagger. I think he ran that little it was like a little knife concept, whatever. And then I think he ran, there's a vertical. I think he ran a hitch too. So, maybe we're talking about 6 or 7 routes, right? But it's not real concepts. I think sometimes it's these max pro shots, these things that aren't really developing receivers. And of course, that goes back to the offense, and that also goes to who the offense coordinator is, what type of scheme you want to run. But I just think I just would wish that you could just let these guys play, because that's how receivers develop, is just by playing, and just playing ball. Because you let a true freshman get in the offense and really let them loose week 1, by week 7, week 8, they're new players, because they just have so many reps, But obviously it's a 70-30 run pass ratio right now. So things are a little different, of course, but it's just going to be interesting to see how they finish up the year, than how they want to approach next year.
Kenny, me and you have talked about the receivers all season long. They didn't start off horrible, but then as the injuries started to settle in, we've gotten a little bit less production out of the receivers, and it's not like Satterfield's called any less of pass plays, really. He called more. I think he's called twice as many pass plays for Harburg now than he did in his very first 2 games. So, I mean, the wide receivers, from what I could tell, have been looking great blocking downfield. They've come along as far as their route running. Coleman's looked amazing. Speedster, obviously. What do you expect out of this room yourself, Kenny?
Oh man, that's a good question, especially when you're dealing with the age and the youth that you have at the position. Like Chancellor said, and I laugh because what he said the percentage was, what our percentage was passing the throwing was. So
90-10, I believe.
Yeah, you think I led the team in receptions with 16 national championship year? I mean, let that sink in. So I mean, like he said, if they're getting those reps and they're running real routes and the progression, because if you're doing it in game and they're not even going to you, you're still working and getting better at your craft. I mean, if it's a dummy route to where you're really just going through the motions, that's not working at your craft. So I mean, I just think a lot of them were forced in because of the injuries. And it's like Johnny on the spot. So I mean, they're doing what I thought they would be able to do, but it goes back to being able to get them the ball. So we're not really seeing what they're fully capable of doing. As you can see, we're using young Jalen on sweeps. Malachi had a couple of passes. I know he had the one drop yesterday, but nobody's 100% is going to catch 1,000 balls out of 1,000. It's just not going to happen. But you have to find a way, and this is where being an offensive coordinator and the coach comes from, to put the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And hell, if it's a hitch, throw him a hitch and see what he can do. If it's a quick slant, throw him a quick slant. Let's see what he can do. Everything's not going to be something downfield. Maybe that builds the confidence of your quarterbacks as well, because they're connecting, they're hitting, they're making those throws. And then the game opens up and it changes. But I mean, it's just been hard because the rotation at QB, the turnovers, and I don't think we're really putting the ball in the hands of the receivers to let them get loose. That's just my take on it. And of course, that's me being a receiver. We can always get it done. That's just our mindset. But get the young guys loose. Let them go. This is building toward next year. This is building. Hopefully we make a bowl game. You get the practices. You go in with momentum, win or loss in the bowl game. You have a confidence. You have that feeling. You know what it takes. And the difference in practice is night and day. The difference between me as a freshman coming in to spring ball was night and day. You get what I'm saying? And that's because of reps. So, I mean, we can give them all the reps, but let's make them effective reps. You know what I mean? Let's put them in position to make plays. Get them ready. The other guys are hurt. Let them loose. Turn them loose.
I agree. And the last thing offensively I wanted to touch on was I mean, we've got to give a little bit of praise here to that offensive line. We're talking about every other position that's banged up. They're probably the ones most hurting. And the patch job that these coaches have done with them as far as where to place guys and the next man up and to the next man up as well. Thank you, because you guys have improved week after week, and it's very noticeable, especially in that run game. My God, some of the holes I was seeing opening up, and not to mention the push. Just the push alone was reminding me of days of the old, and I loved every damn second of it. So, offensive line, coaches, gentlemen, that's the next man up. Keep up the damn good work because you're finally looking like an offensive line, and it's showing. Just not on the scoreboard. Sorry. Offensive linemen can't score. I mean, what are you going to do?
I'm a Rooski, baby. Yes, they can. You knocked that off.
If it was still legal, we could do it, but I mean, come on.
Oh,
All right, we could talk about the bright spot, I guess, as far as the other side of the ball goes, and that was the black shirts. I mean, to me, they looked better than against Michigan State. They didn't look like they were sluggish, a step behind. They allowed some of the big plays, kept a lot in front of them, but man, it just seemed like every time we needed a big play, we needed the ball back, they did it. And the only time they couldn't do it was the final drive that Maryland had. And it's because I think he just asked too much of them. Kenny, you and I have praised the defense all season long for keeping us in the games that we've won, keeping us in the games that we've lost. And yesterday, I think the spirit didn't break, but maybe the pressure got to him from carrying the team almost all season. What do you think?
Man, that's kind of hard to answer. I just thought they could have possibly been broken because how well they were playing. Not mentally, just it's a double-edged sword because they played really well. They had the big plays. Like I said, you're going to bend but not break most times. And for them to do what they did, us to get to drive, us to turn it over in the end zone, that had to be deflating. It's the same when the offense goes down and scores and then the defense lets someone just score quickly. You know what I mean? It's a team sport. I mean, so it's hard, man. They did what they could. I will have to say that I think Maryland shot themselves in the foot a lot of times
Numerous
with their
times.
dumb penalties. But thank you. But it was it's hard, bro. I just think as Maryland just put a great job together at the end for the field goal win. I mean,
really
that's all I can say. I mean, I can't
And
really say any
Chancellor,
defense played bad, you know.
I wanted to bring this up to Chancellor because, I mean, being a former wide receiver, you go up against that secondary every day in practice. And the secondary, I'm not going to say it is, but to me, doesn't feel like the weakness. It just feels like the soft spot on that defense. And I saw it from the very first game, and I've seen it in each game since. What do they got to do? Because I can't be the only one seeing that we're stout up front and in the linebacker position, but sometimes that coverage can be a little bit soft. Are you seeing the same thing?
To be honest, no, I'm not. I think
Okay.
I just like everything in context, bro. So we just look at last game. Okay, who was out? Our number one corner, one of the best corners in Big Ten, was out right now.
Yep.
You know, in Q. So, what does that do? That the two corners now are MC and Tommy, and before MC is really playing that safety position in the 3-3-5. So. MC now is in the outside. He ain't been on the outside really in, you know, all till really like beginning of this year when they kind of start rotating Tommy in at corner and stuff like that. So it's just context there, and then, you know, obviously got to be on the deep ball and the hitch, whatever. Bounce back, made a couple plays later, but anytime you hold a team like Maryland and their high-power offense to 10 points going into a fourth quarter, you should win that game every time.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, and the one time, of course, was this past Saturday. So I think the name of the game, you got to score more points than the team. And the defense put the offense in a fantastic positions plenty of times to do that. Fourth down stop, 2 turnovers. That's really three turnovers. That's really all you can ask for. And then you go back to the turnover there, and defense almost gets some 3 and out, almost off the field on that last drive. And I think what some people could say is they didn't finish or whatever. What it really was is they caught him with a stretch to the boundary, and there was no backer to set the edge. They caught him in 5 down front and with a one backer box. So that was really what it was. It wasn't like they wasn't playing hard. It was just really just X's and O's. They just dialed up a better play at the right time, and nobody was really expecting a stretch there when they had 36, 40 yards of rushing going into that. Right. So then he breaks for 34, 30, 25, 30 yards, and now they're in field goal range, and now everyone's leaving. When really, let's say we matched up the call the right way. Not to say the DC was Tony White's been doing a fantastic job. It just happens sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, let's say they was in their regular 4-3 look, and we eat that up like we're doing the whole time. But they just caught us in something a little funky, and we just couldn't get to it. And that happens sometimes, but that's not on the defense. It's really before that. You get in the red zone, you gotta capitalize at least one of those times. You get 3 points on one of those drives, you win the game. You win the game. You win the game. You win the game, and that forces Maryland to do a lot of things different. Probably take some more time off the board. So yeah, it's just frustrating, man, to see that. And I know the guys work so hard, and they're trying to change things. They're trying to do the right things. They're trying to really buy into what Coach Rule is saying, and they are at the end of the day. And the scoreboard really doesn't reflect that. It's just it's all about execution at the end of the day.
I agree. And we talked about it earlier with Wright's interception. I figured I'd bring it up for you guys right here. You can check it out. You both know him real well, so I figured this probably put a smile on both faces. And what a hell of an interception. Great awareness on the boundary on the sideline there, just to get that toe tap in. And I had to leave the slow-mo replay in there because it's just beautiful. Great tip there as well. Great concentration on Wright. I mean, guys, that's almost receiver type stuff right there. It's hey, you know what? Within a wide receiver, can Wright play both sides of the ball, guys?
That boy can't catch that ball. His daddy can't catch that ball. What you talking about? Toby couldn't catch that ball. Oh man. Hey, his uncle TC the only one that can catch that ball.
Yeah, TC was cold.
Yeah, that's People don't know that, Chancellor. Brian, I don't know if Brian even knows that.
Yeah, TC was the one.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Who's TC? Who's TC? Who are we talking about now?
TC is Buddha's uncle, who's above Toby. TC was the man. Point blank, period. TC was so dope, he was the starting running back at San Diego State. TC hurts his knee. Marshall Faulk is his backup.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Faulk's a legend.
Yeah. Marshall Faulk was TC's backup.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. That's that's amazing. Like, I grew up watching Faulk, man. Faulk was awesome.
Yeah. So
this dude, wow, he was this dude's backup. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, holy hell. I need one of those banners that always pops above my head that says "the more you know."
Yeah.
I just need one of those.
Yeah, I told you, our family goes back like 50, 60 years, bro. So we're pretty much family. So yeah, I can name them in birth order. So yeah.
Well, staying true with the defense, Chancellor, you brought up that 4th down stop. I mean, that push by Hutmacher, the polar bear, there's a reason the young man was undefeated throughout wrestling in high school. I mean, you don't get low like that and get a push like that without knowing leverage. That's crazy. I mean, I knew Hutmacher was going to be a force this year, but I didn't foresee something like that coming this year at all. I mean, it's almost, I'm not going to compare him to Sue. I'm not, but it's Sue-esque as that play was. I mean, he literally made it himself and waited for the backup to get there. So, Kenny, that play, that 4th down stop, I mean, it was huge. Defense did their job again. Hutmacher's just a beast, right?
Yeah, he's a big body, and he knows how to use that big body, and he knows how to get low with that big body and cause havoc in the middle. So, I mean, that was an excellent play, man. That was a good play. It stopped him, and hey, that's what it is. I mean, that was. I can't say anything about that. I mean, he played well. Him and Ty Robson. Our defense played well, man. They really played well. So,
Chancellor, I believe Hutmacher was there while you were still there, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, are you seeing something different out of him this year than you saw while you were there in Lincoln?
I think I think the 3-3-5 fits him so well that, with that particular play, like when he's a zero on the center and like it forces kind of one-on-one, a lot of times with him in the center. So, you traditionally, if you're a four down front, which they do get to it, but if you're a 4 down, he might be a shade on the guard or, inside shade on guard. So he can be double teamed easily, but like, I feel like it's a lot of isolated one-on-one pass rush things. That's why he's excelling so much. And then you complement him with Ty, and then you complement him with the Jack players with Prince and Jamari. Jamari had a good game too, but just the way the defensive structure is, I think it complements his game. But obviously, at the end of the day, he has to execute the one-on-one battles, and he's doing it.
Yeah, definitely. The way the down linemen have played on that defense for a 3-3-5 has been nothing short of phenomenal. My feelings are well known about my fear of running a 3-3-5 as to how your down linemen, your linebacking core, how tough they have to be in order to run that and for it to be successful. They've done it. I mean, they really have. It goes to show you on the fumble there in the 4th quarter with 10 minutes to go. Maryland's driving. They're in the red zone. It's crazy. Was that right that punches that out? Am I not mistaken?
Yep.
Amazing.
That was him.
And you see it, too, as he comes in. He punches that ball. He's looking to punch. He rips right at it. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a hell of a play, a hell of a job by the defense. And, of course, Ty Robinson coming up with the fumble recovery. I mean, that's pretty much the game in a nutshell there, guys. It really is. Defense did everything they could to win this game, to give it to the offense to take control. And it's just pitter-patter didn't get at her. It sucks. I mean, Chancellor, you lived through probably some of the hardest times as not just a player at Nebraska, but watching what the coaches had to go through, the fans had to go through, you guys always being just so damn close to turning that corner. And you're starting to see that it's almost rearing its ugly head again. What would you say to this team to be like, hey, forget the damn past, let's move forward?
Yeah, That's crazy. Oh yeah, another stat I want to say was I think it's 85% of teams whenever they convert like a fake punt, they win the
Mm-hmm.
game. I think it's 92 or 93% or something like that.
That's
But
Another
we
crazy.
stat
got
we can
one.
blow
We
up.
got one and still lost. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
just that's yeah. But yeah, as to your question, I think it's simple, man. You know, you just you just stay humble whether you had a good or bad game. You stay invested in who you are. Stay invested on what the game plan is, because at the end of the day, you know, uh, when you, especially in college, like you when you in that building, there's no there you tune out all the noise. They're not gonna go and listen to this podcast. You know what I'm saying, and
Yep.
hear what dudes had to say about them. You know what I'm saying.
Yep.
You just gonna lock in, and you go, whatever one says, it doesn't matter, right? So I think that's the message that needs to be preached is, okay, things aren't going our way, but how are we gonna respond? We're gonna either approach Tuesday practice with everything we got, and we're gonna iron everything out and go harder, and want to be out there, and want to hit, and want to be physical on a Tuesday when it's cold and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or it's going to be one of those where you start to see guys play decline, right? And towards the end of the year, and that's what you don't want to see. And I don't think that's going to happen. I know these guys, and I the last 2 years, I know the record didn't reflect it, but especially last year, man, there was times where we could have just threw in the towel, man, and with Coach Mick and just said, man, I think we're just gonna be a foreign whatever team, and we're just not gonna play with pride or any type of deeper meaning, But um, I just believe that things are gonna turn around, but it's also a process. Rome wasn't built in a day, you know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
you gotta understand that, and he's weeding out bad habits right now, within the program, within the facility, within the staff, within everyone. You know what I'm saying? So um, just keep at it, man. Just keep at it, because at the end of the day, like the great Toby Wright says, it's win. What's important now? That's all that matters. What's important now? That's the way everyone should live their life. What's important now? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's really what I would tell them. What's important now?
I like that. I really do, because I mean, knowing that I'm sure you're still in contact with a lot of guys that are still on the team. I'm sure you guys talk quite a bit. It's just, oh boy, I know they're giving it everything they got, and as a fan, I can't ask anything more from them, except maybe a little bit better play out of the quarterbacks. But I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, as receivers, I'm sure they're asking for a little bit better play out of the quarterbacks as well. Hey, get the ball to me. Don't airmail it. Don't frost it by shot putting it into the dirt.
uh,
Kenny, you know that very well.
uh.
Oh, good Lord. All right, so I'll go ahead and move us on to our field generals of the week. And like I said, there's going to be an honorable mention for Wright on the defense. I did take Ty Robinson on the defense and Emmett Johnson on the offense. No brainer for Emmett. He was the bright spot on the offensive side of the ball, period. There's no other way to put that. And Ty Robinson, I believe, had 7 tackles, and then, of course, the fumble recovery. But Wright, I believe, also had 7 or 8 tackles on his own, 3 or 5 solo. So, I mean, and not to mention the interceptions. So, now that I think about it, damn it, yeah, I should have put both of them on there. They both deserve that. They played their tails off. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the field generals, and we'll go ahead and move on to the last segment before we go and talk about Chancellor's YouTube channel real quick, because it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
But we got Husker Twitter. That's where I just pull some random tweets from Husker fans after the game, because I want to get the feeling of how they're feeling. And yesterday wasn't good. It was very hard to pull much that was very positive, and it ain't positive at all. So we'll just kick it right off. Former Husker himself, Jeremiah Searles. When was the last time a team has had 3 different QBs thrown an INT in a single game? I don't know. I don't know if I've seen it happen in my lifetime, and I'm 41 years old. Chancellor, I mean, you're a little bit younger than myself, but you've also probably watched a lot more NFL and things like that, and seen quarterbacks go down, backups come in, another backup comes in. Maybe have you ever seen something like this happen?
No, I don't believe I have.
What the hell, Kenny? Yourself? I mean, is this a first?
Yep. I don't even know what the hell was going on, bro. I ain't never seen. I'm speaking in proper English. I have never seen anything like that. But it happened. Hey, and why not happen? It happened to Nebraska, so hey, it was meant to be, I guess. You know, we've been cursed the last couple of years, so
Why not us?
make it rain.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys probably said that quite a bit, Chancellor. Why anybody else but us? Why wouldn't it happen to anybody else but us?
Crazy.
All right. What do we got? Okay, yeah, of course. Redcast Rob from the Go Big Redcast. A big Kool-Aid drinker like I am, or Roulade as he likes to say. But he says, you can't just keep giving the ball back to the other team's offense. The hashtag black shirts are human. They need rest. And it's true. I think we won time of possession, though, but it wasn't by much, maybe a minute or two. But, yeah, they're out there playing their tails off, giving every opportunity under the sun to the offense. And they just say, we don't want it. You guys go out there and you score the points. Well, it's a little hard to do on defense, isn't it?
What was that? Was that me, Brian? He went out.
Yeah, go ahead, Kenny. It's hard to score points on defense when you need them.
Yeah, especially if the other team's not making mistakes. So I don't know, bro. I'm like Arnold Horseshack on Welcome Back, Cotter. I'm so confused, you know. So if you ever seen that, Chancellor, go ahead and watch it. He's always confused, Arnold Horseshack. Mr. Cotter, I'm so confused. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's next. Send it to the youngster.
It's weird, Kenny. We've got to think of our references because actually, Chancellor, you might be the youngest guest we've had on the show before.
Yeah.
Usually we've got former players from back in Kenny's day or just a little after. So normally our old man references hit a little harder and a little quicker.
You got to hit these young cats with maybe it's a Charizard or something like that.
Oh man, see, I never got into Pokemon. I'm sorry.
Nah, me neither.
Right. Next one we got Chris. I hope I say this correctly. Bonenkamp at C214. He says, hand the ball off, kick the field goal, force Maryland to score a touchdown. All we had to do. That's it.
Yep.
We gambled through it twice on that drive, and we got away with it inside the 10. Hand the damn ball off, kick the field goal. I think we were all yelling that. I think we were all yelling that on that play call.
The receiver in me says, give me the ball, but the smart person as an offensive coordinator in me, if I was one, would say, run the ball. Not only are you the possibility, because you've been moving the ball effectively on that drive, to score would have been high, but you're also taking time off the clock.
At least on first down.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't. At least on first down. If it was third and whatever, okay, we could live with that. You could live with the third down call, like, okay, like the little China, I'll get it. Like the little, you're trying to hit the corner, Malachi kind of doesn't finish his route. I get it. But the first one, that's kind of, I feel like that's kind of play call 101. You've been driving the whole time. I get it. If it's an exotic play, if you're doing an exotic like pop pass or something, off of a look you just had, I get that. But if you do what they called, I just really did not understand that at all.
I'll put it to you like this: 99.9% of people who play Madden would have ran that football.
Oh yeah.
That you do it in
So
a video game and not real life scares the shit out of me.
yeah, exactly.
It's like running shotgun when you're at the 1 or 2 yard line. It makes me go crazy. I just don't.
That pisses me off.
Well, we're still old school though, Kenny. Shotgun wasn't quite the thing back then, man. Certainly wasn't here in Nebraska, in the little town I played for. It was I formation, power I. I mean, wishbone. You take your pick, dude. It was running.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? All right, now this is right from the Go Big Red cast. It just struck me as funny. Turnovers are a problem for this offense. Really?
You know they're being sarcastic.
Just now starting to think it. Guys, I'm so glad you put the tweet out there. Yeah, we don't even need to discuss that one. That one, that was fun for me because it was true. It was true. So the Husk guys, they say 5 turnovers, all 5 completely backbreaking. No other team in the history of college football has had this many turnovers. Do we need a sports psychologist, a therapist? What do we need to fix this? That's actually a very good question. Now, Chancellor, as recently removed as you are, you've dealt with the turnover bug at Nebraska. It's not been anything that's gone away in these past years. It's something the program has dealt with probably in the last decade. And so what is it? Is it psychological or is it just coaching?
I think it's a mix because you look at fumbling, and this what like I don't really understand sometimes because I think I fumbled 2 times in my whole career. Like I'm talking like ever since I played football. You know what I'm saying? And the 2 times I fumbled, I know exactly why I fumbled. It was the guy I didn't see and the ball was out. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have there was a little bit of space in there, and one time it was a screen, D lineman knocked it out. Second time I ran a little whatever spin move, got knocked out, right? So I think the difference to the fumbling the football and not fumbling the football is having it here and having it here. Like that's literally the difference. Like that's all it is. You have 5 points of pressure, even if you're down here, you're just gonna fumble. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just ultimate protection of the football. I mean, my first college coach, he said, "Ball security is job security. If you fumble, you're not gonna play for me." So I was like, "Okay, well, I'm not gonna fumble ever." Simple as that. Like that's just going. I'm just gonna be so attention to detail when I have the football that my whole everything I want to do is with this ball. So I'm not gonna let it go. And I don't know if guys need to have that speech or if it's given to them. I think it has been. And I know they do individual drills before practice, and they make up different ball security drills. The guy's been telling me, "Oh, we did this drill." So I understand they're doing it right, but now if the coaching is getting coached, if you're being coached that, right? If you're being coached that, whose fault is it? Now it's your fault.
Yeah.
Now it's your fault if you fumbling after that. Now it's either you're not taking the drill seriously, and you're not bringing them to the game, and you're not paying attention to detail during the drills, or it's a lack of care, a lack of focus. So, then it gets to a point where you can't be overly focused and you're not playing fast. And I think that's what we see sometimes with, some of the quarterbacks kind of get out and want to scramble, and then they kind of, they're not running comfortably because they're thinking about fumbling. You still got to play fast, but when you practice the right way and you do the right things, build good habits, then you ain't got to think twice about playing, But yeah, I mean, it's a combination of looking inward and coaching.
Yeah, because see, I saw that tweet and I was like, psychologically, yeah, because I watched the show Ted Lasso, and there's an episode where they have to bring in a team psychologist because their best player's just off. There's something mentally in there messing him up. So they bring in a team psychologist. She ends up basically fixing the whole team. I'm not saying that would happen here. I mean, it's a TV show. It's written that way. It's supposed to happen that way. But same instance, I'm sure it happens in real life to almost anybody in sports. Sometimes maybe you do need to bring in a team psychologist because everybody's thinking, I don't want to screw up. I don't want to fumble. And like you said, Chancellor, as soon as you do that, that's when those things happen.
Yeah, and we do have a great sports psychologist. She's actually fantastic.
Oh, good.
A lot of guys.
Good.
Yeah. She's one of the best in the business. So I know the guys utilize her and things like that. And yeah, so she is fantastic, and we do have one. So
okay, good. God, maybe we should make some extra appointments for a certain couple guys. Maybe. Damn it. I don't know. That's just, hey, that's the fan in me spouting off, and I enjoy doing it because as a fan, I can. What do we got here? All right, Husker Cuzcast, hashtag Huskers QBs today. 10 completions, 4 interceptions, 1 fumble. Holy hell. That is never good. That's between 3 quarterbacks, and you've got 10 completions. 4 picks. Kenny, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're beating a dead horse at this point. I know. We're those getting beat to death, and I get it.
They need to go see that psychologist.
All right, here's from Jason Spittler. Husker fans calling for the OC to be fired is baffling. We have QBs throwing the ball directly to the defense. Yep, absolutely correct. Or fumbling. Or a QB who's had limited reps and is missing the chemistry. RPOs are option plays. We don't have a QB. It is what it is. Now, I somewhat disagree here. We have quarterbacks. We really do. They're capable of playing the position. My only concern is I don't know if they're capable of playing the position at this level or necessarily maybe just this school, fitting this system. But it's not like we can go get anybody from the portal right now. So we're going to have to make do with what the hell we got. So sorry, Jason Spittler, but yeah, it is what it is, man. You can't go get anything new right now.
I'm kind of speechless. You know,
kind of easy to be.
They just need to play better. Going back to what Chancellor was saying, from the fumbling, ball security, senior therapist, psychologist, whatever you need, sports psychologist. It's something to me that's holding them back mentally.
Yeah.
And it's keeping them in that place to where they can advance. I mean, I think Grant with the fumbles, hold the ball high and tight. Sometimes a fumble is just going to happen.
Yeah.
But when you're consistently fumbling, there's something going on.
Yep.
It's almost like when the player it's same with receiving. Sometimes you can get in that funk where you're dropping everything and you don't know why. Something you need to find out why. You need to find to what you do that keeps you steady, that keeps you the same, that makes you catch. You might have tweaked something and you didn't know. You know, as a running back, you might have tweaked something, the way you hold the ball when you're getting ready to get contacts, little things like that. You guys know, Chancellor, you're fresh off. Brian, you played football. Of course, I played football. When you're a creature of habit and everything's routine, you don't have those mistakes.
No, you don't need
like Chancellor said, I can remember my fumble. My one fumble ever is Michigan State, the one they will talk about on the reverse. And that's because I froze up and was like, let me see what I'm going to do off the pitch. You know what I mean? But that's it. But everything else was routine. Yeah. I didn't change, okay, in this type of contact, let me put the ball here. Oh, the ball's spinning this way. Instead of catching the thumbs out, I'm going to catch it thumbs in. on this type. Everything was you have to be robotic. And I think the quarterbacks right now are not robotic in what they're doing, which is causing the turnovers, but count and switching it around. I think they're robotic in what they're doing, which is causing turnovers. You get what I'm saying, Chancellor? I mean, because it's the same mistakes that we're seeing, and I know that you all see it like I see it. You say, when they throw that ball, you're like, that's going to be an interception.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong? You're like, no, don't throw that.
Yep.
And sure enough, it's an interception. So I think it's going backwards in how they're doing it rather than forward. And they need to hit a reset and it's still time. You know what I mean? Hit a reset and fix that stuff, man. And just fix it. I mean, but like I've always said for years, we've had the players. It's just been little stuff that has kept us from being better than our record has reflected. And
Just
you
the
know,
silly
Brian,
little
that's
things.
and you know that's been my from the jump, from when Frost got there. No, 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 no. Don't blame the kids. It's coaching. If you see it, you coach them up. You show them what they're doing wrong. That's coaching. You show them what they're doing wrong and you help them correct it to get better. Period. So the coaches need to sit down and talk to them, help them fix whatever mistakes they're making. Stop throwing off your back foot. Stop throwing the ball high. Put it low where the defender can't get it, where the defender has to go through his body. You know what I mean? It's little stuff like that. So, whatever.
Only quarterback in history, recent history, that I can remember that threw pretty well off his back foot, and that was Armstrong. He had a rocket for an arm. His accuracy was better than 50% easily. So when he was in trouble and he threw that thing off his back foot, he'd still throw it 60 yards and not care. So we don't have the guys like that. Well, to end Husker Twitter, it was just a quick one. We don't even have to comment on it, but it was from No Block, No Rock. Love these guys, and they sum it up best. I just want to go home and cuddle with my dog and watch some shows. Amen, guys. Amen to that. I think that's how a lot of us I really do. I think that's how a lot of us felt after the game. And yeah, it just watching football the rest of the day after a loss on an 11 a.m. game sucks. It ruins the rest of your day. You just want to see every team have a horrible game. You want to see everybody get upset. And Kenny, I don't care what you say, I'm still going to say it because Colorado sucks, dude. And I'm loving every damn minute of every passing second of their games the last 6 weeks.
Taking L's on the regular.
Can't help it. Like I said, still a fan of Dion, but as soon as he took that job, I wasn't. So it's all it took. It's all it took, Dion. Yeah, oh boy. All right, well, we'll wind it down here. Chancellor, I wanted to bring this up, man. You just started on this YouTube channel called, I believe it's D&D. Am I correct in saying that?
Yep.
Delayed, not denied. And dude, on here, a lot of the times you will go over Husker game film and you break this down amazingly. Like I said, this is also so fresh in your mind that it's like you are literally still there playing the game. And you have grown this YouTube channel exponentially in just, what's it been, a few months maybe?
Yeah, about a month and a half. Yeah.
So what made you decide to want to start doing this?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I love football so much, obviously, and I feel like I could speak the language of football. I feel like a lot of people can't do that. Even guys who play football, they just can't do it sometimes, and I just feel like I'm just blessed upstairs that I just can't able to just translate the information on the field and just speak it to where people can just understand it. So that's why that I didn't even mean for it to really turn into me doing reacting things. It was just going to be like just some cool stuff. And then all of a sudden I did one from Minnesota. It kind of went crazy. Then just kind of just the people just been messing with it. So I just been doing that. But yeah, it's D&D. It stands for Delayed Not Denied. So that's really a saying that Buddha dad Toby, man, has said to me since I was in high school, man. He just always would say delay not deny. Like no matter if it takes a while, if it's you gotta go through the long road to get there, what's for you is not gonna miss you. So that's kind of the message behind that. But yeah, during season right now, we're not able to like show like a bunch of stuff because Buddha's in a bunch of videos and a bunch of cool things coming up. We actually did a lot of stuff in the community, like helping out some homeless shelters and some stuff with some local businesses and stuff like that. So that's gonna be cool. I'll be playing in the XFL in February, so I'll get to kind of film that journey and stuff like that. So I think
Good stuff, man.
Who are you playing for in the XFL?
It was gonna be the Birmingham team, but kind of some management stuff happened. But it's okay. We're gonna like the management has kind of like whatever since they merged. So I think I might actually be on the West Coast, so that might even be better. So yeah.
Chance,
Okay.
Ever since the XFL kicked off, I am a San Antonio Brahmas fan, dude.
Okay, yeah,
I'm planning on going there in March to catch.
Hey, yeah, man. Hey, this fool is always posting about that San Antonio team. Like it's crazy.
Brahmas, baby, Brahmas.
Yeah,
hey,
that's great. So you're gonna be in the XFL, dude.
That's dope, man. That's dope, my bro.
Yeah,
hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
Did you what was I gonna say? Did y'all get backlash for going up there trying runs?
Oh yeah. That was the responses on those were funny, man, because I didn't really understand how much they really was riding for Runza, and then
Hey, the burgers are delicious and the nice hot fries, but let me say this for everybody listening. When I was there the other week, I tried your chili and cinnamon rolls. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I don't see it. I don't understand it. I'll never get it. Disgusting, and it was disturbing. And I was really perturbed that people like be on it like it's tough. Nah, no way. Never had it when I was there. But give me. I'll try Runza with cheese, but I like those tasty, hot, fresh burgers with the bacon and the fries with no salt. Give it to me hot, baby, and it's on.
Yeah, so you guys really had never tried a Runza before the whole time you had played here?
Yeah, the only time I had tried one, I tried a burger one time, but it was cold. It was cold and it was like an hour out of like the bag type thing. So I didn't even get no good taste. So I'm thinking Runza trash for real. But I mean, it wasn't as bad as I thought. That's really what it was.
Where you from originally, Chancellor?
I was born in North Carolina, but I was raised in Arizona. So.
Oh, okay. So you from my part of the woods. What high school you go to out here?
I went to Hamilton.
Oh, you was out there. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. Well, it makes sense then why you extremely even tight with the young Buddha and Tobias.
Yeah. That's
I went to South, man. I went to South.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yep.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. When I saw that episode that you guys were going to Runza for like basically the first time, it blew my mind. I just figured that it was something they made you guys do once you were a player here. Like you had to try a Runza.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. I think I may have only had 4 while I was there.
What?
I only ate the burgers. I'm not a cabbage guy, so that was a struggle stuff.
I hate cabbage.
But I had one with cheese and it was hot and tasty. So I mean, I'm not gonna make an effort to go run up there and get it all the time. No, but you know what I mean. I will do a little something.
As far as your YouTube channel goes, Chancellor, where do you want to take this thing? Where do you want to see this thing in about another year? Because, dude, I think you hit 1 or 2,000 subscribers within just a month or two.
Yeah, we just I think we just hit 2K today actually. So yeah, I think my vision for it is kind of cool. We got a little group, but I think we're gonna take over the off season with some really really cool things. And the Nebraska folks, they obviously they watch podcasts like this and in season
Right.
stuff, but off season there's not a lot of things that they are able to see. So I envision a lot of like actual sit down podcasts, got a camera, couch, microphones, everything with current players, and having a host and someone doing that type of stuff. And some guys at Oklahoma, obviously I'm not going to be in a lot of them, but just I feel like I had the mind for a lot of things, and just being able to execute it is it's just like football. That's how I like football is life, man. So I just have a vision for it, and I just got to execute it at the end of the day. So yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. And Buddha's gonna be in damn near all of them, and we get to show a different side of athletes, because I think especially football, it's all about us on the field, and we got a helmet on. Nobody gets to see us outside of
Right.
what we do. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, be careful the way we're portrayed, but we don't. The way we live right. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing like where I'm like I can't show them that. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's cool, and it's obviously putting yourself out there, but the feedback, and when I'm in town training, sometimes I'm training with my guy Chris Slatt out of Slatt Performance right now, but outside of that, when I go around, it's crazy. I was in the gas station the other day. And, you might get stopped for oh, I recognize you from playing ball, but it's now turning into I recognize you from D&D, which is honestly pretty cool, because it's kind of like a seed that we're kind of watering right now and watching it grow. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, you guys have done an amazing job. It's growing quick too, because man, I remember when it dropped, that Minnesota game. After that, it was like wildfire. All of a sudden, you were all over Twitter. You were everywhere on Instagram. You're everywhere on YouTube. I was like, good Lord. I mean, the guy just graduated. Give the man a breather, would you? I mean, it's like you just hit the ground running and took off with it. So, I mean, congratulations, man. You've done an amazing job growing that. You do an amazing job recapping the game film. You do an awesome job engaging with your audience. So you're doing everything right, man. You really are. So congratulations.
Yeah,
I
man.
really
Proud of
appreciate
you,
it.
bro. Yeah, that's dope.
Appreciate it.
I've watched them, and I've laughed and chuckled. And I said, man, look at these dudes on here. These young dudes out here living their best life. Boy, am I jealous. So how they get to live their best life. And yeah. They getting NIL big scholarship checks and living their best life. What? Hey, I got $415 a month on my scholarship check. These dudes out here doing it big. Yeah, brother. 415. So let that sink in.
That's rough living. That's we damn near on the streets with that.
Hey, let me tell you. Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, you pay your little rent, had a little bit for gas, and you had enough to go spend $9.99, get your new CD on Tuesday. That was it.
Get your CD.
Yeah, hey, my no limit catalog is second to none. My no limit catalog is extraordinary.
Okay.
new CD.
I don't care what anybody says. Snoop's first No Limit was probably one of his best. I don't care what anybody says. That was one of my favorite CDs of Snoop's. Doggy Style. Doggy Style's classic. Can't be replaced. Can't be duplicated. Don't care.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. That's hilarious,
yeah,
man. Congratulations, bro.
Dude, we're old. We're old. We can't help it, man. It just happens.
Yeah.
One day you'll get there. One day you're gonna get there. You're gonna look back. You're gonna be doing something like this. You're gonna have a young guy on like yourself. You'd be like, damn, I remember back in my day. And then he's going to be talking about something where he's doing shit with 3D holographs or something for
Yeah,
game
I'm already knowing
preparation.
it's gonna be crazy.
All right, guys. Well, we've hit a little over the hour mark. Like I said a little while ago, for anybody watching, listening, I apologize for the hiccup in the beginning. I hit record. It didn't start. So we got probably about 5-10 minutes in before it really did. So I'll put a little intro there in the beginning. I'll re-record a small intro, and it'll look all right. It'll look all right. Chancellor, you're still going to look good throughout this whole thing, so don't worry about that. Kenny don't give a damn about what he looks like. I mean,
I don't care.
He's always dapper. It doesn't matter. Just always.
Might have to get this native New Yorker, man. Give me some wings or something.
Oh yeah. I know about that native New Yorker.
Yeah, I know you know. I know you know.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and shut her down now. I think we covered everything pretty well. You know where to find the show at this point. You see right there at Husker Army Pod on Twitter and Instagram. We do not do the Facebook thing. I personally do. I promote our show there, but we don't do that. You want to find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, more. Just Google Husker Army Podcast. Very first thing that pops up. We're very easy to find. Kenny's very easy to find, especially if you're looking for any smoke on Twitter. He will happily provide and give all feedback for any tweets you might need that need some very much attention very quickly. He's got you covered.
Yeah, poisonous verbal darts.
Oh, you got that right, dude. And they kill. They do not miss either. Now, Chancellor, where can they find you on social media, my friend?
Yeah, on Twitter, I've actually memorized these now that I've been on all these podcasts. But it's Chancellor. That's my name, Chancellor Brew with a 1. So Chancellor Brew 1 on Twitter. Then I think Instagram. I don't really be on Instagram for real. But it's C_Brew with 2 W's and then a 7. So. And then of course, YouTube is at D&D Vids with a Z.
Now, I'd say you're on Facebook as well, but like you said, you hardly ever check on there anymore. So I was glad I messaged you on Twitter instead after getting a hold of you on Facebook. So yeah.
I didn't even realize because I'll be on Facebook. Like my mom would tag me in some of my, stuff like that. And then I'd be looking on my friend request, and I'm like, sometimes I just hit confirm on all of them because a lot of stuff is private. You know what I'm saying? And eventually I'm gonna start posting my YouTube stuff on there. But yeah, I didn't see your message until I think was it yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that.
Yeah. No, you're totally good. Trust me. There's times I get a hold of people, I'll message them. I know they've looked at it, never hear a damn thing back. Doesn't bother me, but at least say, hey, nah, I can't, or yeah, I can. No big deal. I don't mind. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Trust me. Well, you'll kind of hurt my feelings because you're a former Husker. Yeah, you kind of hurt my feelings. I'm just kidding. It wouldn't bother me one bit. I get it. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got things going on. So everybody, for myself, Brian Knudsen, for former Husker wide receiver, national champion, Mr. Kenny Cheatham, and for our guest today, former Husker wide receiver, Chancellor Brewington, and up-and-comer YouTuber, probably podcaster, I'm sure in the near future. Maybe
XFL. We're going to speak it to existence.
Pay attention to the XFL. And if you get the chance, Chancellor, try and get a trade over to San Antonio after your first season.
Hopefully I won't be an XFL after this next year. So that's
true. Just development. Just development is all you need.
Yep.
Sharpen your blades. Just sharpen your blades.
Yes, Dad. It's going to be awesome to watch you play again. Oh, God. I want to drop an F-bomb so bad, but I'm not going to do it this week. I think I did it once, so we're good. All right. Husker Army, you know what to do. At ease, and you are all dismissed.